Rusty deals back here. Minnesota's Rust. 1957 Ford. Of course, Marketplace doesn't allow all the different models. Maybe it's a custom, maybe it's a Fairlane, maybe it's somewhere in the middle. No title, parts car. Selling for a friend makes you a little bit nervous. If you see it in the pictures, it's there. If you don't, it's not. Ooh. So they're tired of dealing with people who are calling and asking all the questions. Located in eastern Iowa, so just south here in Rusty, Minnesota. Reasonable offers accepted. They're looking for $2,000. So how reasonable is that? How much lower will they go? First picture here. There's your barn dust, so save that. That's worth money. You can see it looks like the front clip is gone. I can see the rear end is there, but it's riding low. Appears to be in primer. See a bunch of trim is gone. Looks like some glass is missing too. Taillights are gone. Okay, so here's our driver's side. You can see there is some pretty good size chrome on the door, so maybe it is more of a Fairlane than base model custom. But you'd have to dig in a little bit to see. You can see parts of the interior kind of hang in there, to be expected. The doorway there looks like it was in a storage container of some kind. So looking at the back, clearly somebody was in the middle of doing something with this. Bumper's gone. Both taillights are gone. We can see that now. Most of the trim is stripped off the sides. The rear end appears to be there, but it's riding low. So are the springs sacked that much, or are they rusted through? A nice picture here of the interior. I can see a lot of the chrome pieces, the grill. Looks like some seat frames are sitting in there. Just kind of stacked up. Looks like a gas tank is piled in there too. So like the person said, what you see is what you get. Looking at the front here, stripped down, right down to the frame, gives you a chance to take a look at what the coil springs look like. You can see, you got your blower motor is intact, so that's great. Looks like your wiper assembly is gone, but it's still there somewhere, maybe. There is your front bumper hanging out there. There's your license plate is still in place, your Iowa blue. It needs some air in the tires. Those are the old polyglass Goodyears. So you can see those belted tires there for you. Close up of the grill, so that looks like it's straight-ish there. Got some kind of marker lights in the grill. Not a 57 Ford expert, but somebody who is, please chime in here if that looks like the right grill for that. What always makes me nervous about a car that's stripped down this much is the bits and pieces. So here are some of the window trim, those window frames. You can see the quarter windows. You can see the drivers and passenger door windows there. Trying to put pieces back together when you get boxes of screws is always fun. Like I mentioned in another video, you can buy companies that sell kits, full nut and bolt kits, which is what you'd definitely be looking for that. There's some chrome there. Chrome looks straight-ish, still kind of shiny-ish. So you got that at least to start with or whatnot. Getting here to the inside a little bit, you can see there's kind of a pile of lights in the. I don't know if that goes into the trunk. Maybe you can see light through there. It looks like some rusty crustiness. Yeah, not the greatest shape looking at some of the sheet metal there. But you can buy lots of parts for 57 Fords, not quite as much for 57 Chevys. Give an idea of the body there. Looks like there's been some patchwork there, maybe. Definitely you can see sky and floor looking through the rust there. You know what you get, just what they said. Lots of work going into this thing to get it back in one piece. $2,000 for a car that's stripped to pieces and is rusty with no title seems like a lot, if you ask me. But I don't know what's 57 Ford's going for these days. Let's take a look really quick at some other Facebook Marketplace projects out there. And maybe that'll give us an idea. Is 2000 way out of line, or is it kind of about where it should be? So first up, here we have another 57 Fairlane 500. So this is a little bit higher trim model. It looks like a complete car. You've got your front clip, everything in place, still got wheels, tires, and this person is asking $2,000. Again, another Iowa car, $2,000 for this. So maybe this is a better start. Then again, you don't know how rusty crusty it is underneath, but it looks like it's straight. I see the trunk lid's kind of popped in the back. Maybe it's just sitting there, but that's $2,000. I don't know. And then here's kind of a much further along project. I see, looks like there's an air cleaner peeking out of the hood there. These are kind of neat because the hoods do open backwards. But here's another 57 Fairlane. You can see it's in the middle of getting some work done, sitting in someone's shop here. And for something in this shape, they're asking $7,000. So this is the Fairlane Club, so a little bit lower level than your other model. But let's check out Auto Trader. What do we got going on there? So we just got an example of what $2,000 will get you, what $7,000 will get you. So looking here is another 57 Fairlane. This is coming out of South Carolina, so it should be pretty rust-free. About $13,500. Again, this is coming out of a classic car dealership down there in Gary Court. So probably not a lot of wiggle room on the price there, but definitely primer, definitely missing some pieces there. Maybe they got all the parts for you to put it back together. You got your white walls, so maybe that's all you really need. But that's $13,500. Next, we have another 57. This is the Skyliner. So this is the hardtop that turns into a convertible. So the hardtop will go back down to the trunk, as you can see there. We had a relative years ago. My dad would always tell the stories. One of these was in the family. I think it was sold before I was born, so that's too bad. But asking $60,000 for that probably isn't too out of line. Those are very uncommon, and they're super cool at the car show. So, eBay Motors. You never know what you're going to see at eBay Motors. Let's jump over there real quick and see what they have for 57 Fairlanes, Customs, Fairlane 500s or whatnot. So here's a 57. Looked like it was pretty much all there. $15,000. So a little bit of custom paint. Pretty clean, pretty much in one piece. Yep, there's that same grill. So we know that grill must be about the right thing right there. So starting out with a basket case for $2,000, ending up with something in one piece for $15,000. Maybe $2,000 isn't too bad. Then again, how much work do you put into it as opposed to having a shop put into it at $100 and whatever bucks an hour? And then here's a very nice example from a classic car place somewhere, $34,000. And this one, if I looked at more of the pictures, was restored back to original. This had the Thunderbird 312 in it. So not a Thunderbird engine, but there is a Thunderbird package you get on that 312, which was one of those fancier Y blocks. Not a supercharged version, which they had that was 300 some horse. But this looks pretty sharp and pretty nice. So looking back at what we started with, 2,000 is a lot for something that's not all there, especially like we saw we could, even just on Marketplace, find one that was all there. But if they're willing to make a good deal and move it, and you need the parts, because most likely without a title, it's kind of a pain. You can get one here in Minnesota, but it is timeful. It takes time, and it is a little bit of money. So I'd probably make a pass on this. With that being said, Rusty Deals here at Minnesota's Rust. Thank you much.